Hey guys, welcome to Big Sister. Hope you guys are doing well. Thank you so much to all my new subscribers. Those of you who have recently subscribed or have subscribed within the past few months, thank you so much. I am very appreciative to those of you who have been here from the very beginning. Please guys, don't forget to like, share, and to subscribe to this channel. If you give me some thumbs up, then of course the algorithm will catch on to that and I will get more views on my baby channel. So thank you very much. So guys, I want to talk with you about the value of virginity, and I'm going to talk about this with women. I'll do another one about men who are virgins, because I have literally seen documentaries or seen YouTube videos on guys who, because they are still virgins, they have done like mass killings, and I'm like, is it really that serious? So we're going to talk about that in another video. I'm going to try to think of how to even, I'm not sure because I'm not a guy, so I don't know that perspective, but I'll just give my opinion about that and then talk just with guys who are virgins in general. Okay, but today we're going to talk about the girls who are virgins and those who are not virgins, and we're going to talk about a couple of things. We're going to talk about the myth. We're going to talk about this pressure that women and young girls are under to feel that if you like somebody, then you give them your body. You're under the impression that if you give someone your virginity or you give someone sex, this is going to make them like you more or cause them to stay. But I will tell you that the minute a guy has received your virginity or have your body, a lot of times that interest that he has in you, that initial interest in you as a person, if that is how he has felt, now he's focusing on something more carnal. And if his appetite is more on getting you sexually, then all of a sudden his interest in you as an individual dwindles. That changes. Okay? And physical satisfaction, while it's enjoyable, it's euphoric and it lasts, but it's not something that's really going to cause someone to want to be with you. There could be a person who is obsessed with the idea of you, or they may be obsessed with the feeling that they get from, having sex, but that's about it. That's why, guys, you see very beautiful women who still get dumped, who still end up getting divorced, who still end up going out with a bunch of different guys and all these different things, because beauty and sex is not going to cause someone to want to be with you. Okay? So those of you who are virgins, you have to understand that you are priceless. And you'll see guys that are lining up to have your virginity, because seeing virgins, they're very rare. But what would cause a girl to feel like she needs to give up her virginity or give up her body? Just 1 second, guys. Okay, so what would make young girls feel as if they need to do this or they have to give up their bodies? Why do you think that is? Well, the message that society will give. First of all, in my opinion, it may start at home. If a young girl does not understand her value, if she's at home and she's being told that she is ugly and she's stupid and she's not anything, if there's no value placed on her, then it's hard for her to see herself as a gem. If she is being compared to someone else, if she's being told that she does not meet the standard of what traditional beauty is, then she will become more and more inclined to think very little of herself and think that someone is doing her a favor by being with her. Okay? Then you may have women or young girls, they're raised by women. The girl may be very beautiful. She may be lovely. She may be desirable, but she is being told that through sex she can control men. Okay? So then she may feel that she is the prize, but she's not understanding that it is actually her that is giving something away. Men deposit, women open up, okay? Even the natural physiology of sex, the man is giving and the woman is taking. So, and what happens? That man leaves a deposit, okay, through his semen, whether he's using protection or not, he's depositing something, okay? He withdraws, he's gone. All that is everything, the intrusion or the penetration, the fluids, that all remains with the woman. Okay, so it's really not, so while the woman may feel like, yes, you have your beauty and all that, but ultimately there's a thing of, if you give the man this, then you can control him, but you still need to give that man yourself. You understand? So what women need to understand is, especially in Western society, you know, in other parts of the world, young girls, man, if they're not virgins, it's a matter of life and death. But in Western society, there's this freedom, right? Freedom of my body, freedom to do what I want. Yeah, it's free, but notice, freedom, what's the first 4 letters? Free, okay? And anything that's free, nobody really wants it. They may get it at the moment, but you don't value it. You're like, oh, okay. There's lots of people. Have you ever gone into a store and there's someone at the front that's giving free samples? There is someone that stand there and eat a whole bunch of those samples, but they don't have any intentions to buy it. They're just whetting their appetite. They're just getting some free whatever it is at the time. Now, I personally don't like to do it. I've always been that way for some reason. I don't know why. I don't like eating that for some reason. So I'm like, nah, I don't want any. So, but it's free, okay? So, young ladies, you may have a lot of guys that like you when you're giving them the sex, but how many stays? You see a lot of women, some of them are beautiful, and then you'll see this guy, he'll be with these beautiful girls, messing with them and everything, and then he goes and he marries someone that looks so opposite from everyone else. She's just plain looking and everything, because when it gets down to it, it's not about your sex. It's not about what's down there. It's enjoyable, but that's not something that's going to cause a man to really look at you and consider you for the future, unless he is a person, you know, some men who maybe they are a little bit shallow, or they are sort of disconnected emotionally. Yeah, they don't mind having sex with you, and they don't mind doing these things with you because they're emotionally detached. You understand? So they can compartmentalize. But if you're looking for something that is really meaningful, a lot of times you're not going to find what you need out of those situations. And then you have men who, they've never been loved. They don't understand what love is. They don't know what that would look like. So therefore, because they don't have it, they will be happy for a shallow or a physical relationship, because to them that translates to love. But women, I just want to, and young girls, I want to talk with you about holding on to your virginity. You know, only someone who is willing to, someone who truly loves you is worth that. Someone who wants to really spend their life with you and give you the world and be with you, and you guys can give each other love and support one another, only this person is worth that. Because what happens is, you may feel to yourself that you can keep giving and having sex with different people, and you may even think to yourself, well, I've only been with 2 guys, or I've only been with 3 guys. And maybe in Western society, that's really impressive. But in other places, no. But even in Western society, let me put it like this. Imagine you being a virgin will be like a can of Sprite. That can of Sprite is unopened. It is untouched. It has value. More than likely, you have to pay for it, okay? And it's there, it's in the refrigerator. It gets nice and cold, and you finally get to open it up and you get to enjoy it. It's like, right? But once that Sprite has been opened up, there may be some more soda left in there. And just imagine, okay, you've only been with 3 guys. So imagine you as that open can of Sprite. And someone came and enjoyed it and he liked it. But let's say he didn't buy it and he lets it sit there, and another guy comes and he takes a sip out the can, and he takes a couple chugs and he puts it down. And another guy comes and takes a sip and puts it down. Now we know in reality, most people will not be chugging behind anybody on a can of Sprite. But do you see what I'm saying here? Like on the soda, you'll be like, ew, you put your mouth on that, right? You don't want to drink behind somebody unless you guys are super close. But that's what it's like after a while. You be the can of Sprite that's been popped open, okay? I'm not trying to be vulgar when I say that. And someone come and take a sip and a sip. So imagine, I only been with 2 guys, right? Well, someone pops that open. He took a sip, another guy took a sip. If you saw that soda sitting there, you saw 2 guys sip off of it, you're not going to go after it. If you as a girl saw 2 girls sip off of a soda, you're not going to go get your third swig in. It's like, I'm good. I get my own, right? How much more valuable are you than a can of soda? So once you give up your virginity and pop, okay, we open up the Sprite, everyone's taking a sip after it. Do you see how the value? Do you see the picture of what this would look like? Right? If someone saw a bunch of people taking a sip off of that soda, they're most likely going to go, and if there's more that hasn't been opened, they're going to go buy their own. Right? And if anyone is lined up to take a sip out of the soda can that everyone's sipping out of, it's probably some extreme circumstances, like there's no more left. They don't think they can't afford to get the one that's been unopened, or they're really thirsty, right? So yeah, I'm going to sip after this. Now, this is not to shame anybody who's no longer a virgin, or you've had your ample share of men or boys or anything like that, but this is just to get someone to understand their value of their body and their worth. And even if you say, I've been with 2 guys, okay, according to Western standards, that's pretty good. But just remember the soda can. And if you privately could think of yourself as a soda can, how many sips did it take to get to your center? Like the Tootsie Pop. I'm trying to be, yeah, whatever. So value yourself. If you're a virgin, wait. You are worth the wait. You have to understand that you have value. And you have to realize that giving a man your body is not going to make him want you or love you anymore. And also, once you make a connection sexually with somebody, a lot of times your head is going to be all over the place depending on the kind of person that you are. Enjoy your life, enjoy your freedom, enjoy yourself. There's so much more to life than having sex and being piqued by someone. And the right person is out there. The right person is there. And to me, if you've never had sex, you don't know what you're missing. You understand? So you can't be like, I'm missing out. You have no idea. You have no idea to say I'm missing out. Like, are you? Missing out on what? You have no point of reference. Correct? So I will say anyone that's worth it, if anyone that's worth it will think that you're worth the wait. Focus on your education, ladies. Focus on enjoying your life. Focus on getting to know yourself. Focus on healing the wounds or anything that you've experienced that makes you have such low self-esteem. Those of you, you've already done some things. It's not too late to pick yourself up. From today forward, you can make a change, but it's going to take a lot of work. And what that is, it's a lot of counsel. If you're able to go get counsel, you can get it to understand your worth, to understand why your body should not be used as a revolving door, and understanding that sex does not equate to love. You can make a change. You really can. You may feel like you can. I understand it may be hard if you're still living in the air with all the guys that you're being with. That might be difficult. That gives you an even harder feat to try to get over and to get through. But there is no reason why you can't turn your life around and say, I'm no longer going to do this. And then if you have a child, you can teach your daughters differently. Being a virgin is an amazing thing. You are like priceless. And if you can understand, everyone in general can understand that you are priceless. Why? Because there's one of you. Even if you're a twin, you're both unique. Your DNA are still unique. While similar, you are very unique. And imagine if there was a car, there's only one make and model of a car on the planet, regardless of what it is. Let's just think it's not even like a super high-end car. It may be the only model of this specific Ford Escort made on the entire planet. Now, compared to Mercedes and compared to all these other high-end vehicles and a Hummer, a Ford Escort is not a big deal. But if it was the only make and model on the entire planet, oh yeah, it's valuable. Its value is in its rarity. And if you are the only you on this planet, you are rare. But oftentimes life, society, culture, the way you were raised, what the standards are for your society can cause you to have such a skewed view of yourself that you feel like, I need to do this in order to be accepted and to be loved and to get attention. But all it does is causes you as a young girl to have a boy who may value you at first and see you as interesting. As soon as he gets your body, he's going to be excited by the feeling of the intimacy, but ultimately there's way more required to cause someone to love you and to want to be with you than sex. And eventually he'll begin to see the flaws in you. That's one of the things about when you have sex, is that interest that is there, how they are well behaved in the beginning when they're dating you or when they want to get to know you, and the phone calls and all of that. Once sex is introduced to it, they may call you a bit more. There'll be this increase in calling and seeing you and the intimacy, but eventually it's going to falter. Eventually he's going to begin to see something different about you. You're just not, if you had a flaw somewhere, he's suddenly noticing your flaws and all of that, and little things about you that he never noticed before. You may have had it there, but because you did not give him what was precious. And because you guys haven't had that chance to really get to know each other, or he still needs to mature, all that stuff, he just begins to look at you differently. You understand? He's noticing other things, because what is required for someone to build love and to build loyalty and to build trust, and for you guys to really have a genuine relationship, that takes time. And if sex is introduced first, you're going to mistake that feeling of sex for love. But when life happens in situations and someone else who's prettier comes along, or there's a disagreement, you will see that sex is not going to be enough to keep you. Why? Because he can get that same feeling from another person, and maybe even better. There's someone who's going to have more physically than you do. You understand what I'm saying? So, guys, I hope this makes sense. And you have to understand, too, that sometimes people are still developing, especially as a young person. You're still growing. The human brain does not fully develop until you're in your mid-20s. So when you're giving up your body to someone who's 16, 18, or even you doing the same, he may like you right now, but as he develops and grows, he may not like you. Later on, he may change. Not because he needs to, but he has matured. And then there are people who have low character. They weren't raised right. They weren't brought up right, so they don't know how to treat you. So when they get that from you, yeah, they want that. But as far as working on anything else, working on character, working on morals and values, no, that's not going to be there. So hold on to your virginity, young ladies. Understand your value. Sex does not equal love. Sex is not as it's in the Western society. Just give it up. Just do what you want. Because even women that walk around and say, I don't care, it doesn't matter, nah, they got to that point. They became hardened when they kept getting disappointed, or they were taught by bitter, hardened women to be this way. But 9 times out of 10, they got their hearts broken so many times that they begin to convince themselves that they don't care and they're using men. But I'm telling you, you can never really use men. You may be able to use them and get things from them and get things out of them. But as far as who's doing what, that man is always depositing in you. He's always he's releasing in you, and he withdraws. And he walks away. So regardless of what the position may be, whether it's missionary or whether you're leading the way on the top, he is always leaving something with you. Does this make sense? All right, guys. Peace.